Hello everybody, welcome to Bitcoin Daily, 9 a.m. Central European Time on the dollar. We do this show every day, Monday to Friday, because we gotta know what's happening in Bitcoin, altcoins and everything else, and the housing market, of course. So we're gonna look a little bit about that, because there has come some out new statistic about housing market in Norway. So I wanna, mention that, because we've been following this, how long it takes, for a house to be sold in Norway. So we're gonna check that out. How's everybody? As you can see on the chart right now, we are having a little bit pullback. I made a long video yesterday. We're gonna talk about this, but you know, if you go to YouTube, the late adopter, whatever, late adopter up here, there's a new video up here called "Should We Panic? Is it time to panic yet?" It's 24 minutes long. Nothing has changed since the last, you know, that video from yesterday. So if you want to catch that and check that out, you know, it's a lot more detailed, explain at least what I think about this move. But you know, we're gonna pick some certain things out of that and you know, talk about that as well here. But we're also gonna, you know, mostly focus on the small time frames and how this rally right now can actually you know, play out. And just to be, you know, just say it right now, I don't see anything wrong with the pullback, you know, literally zero thing wrongs. We are very, very much bullish still. We are not, you know, euphoric or anything like that, but we are very, very much bullish. This stop up here also came to some kind of very, very important level for resistance, and we're gonna see that. How's everybody doing in the chat? It's Plan, what's up? Rampas, Mift, what's up? Lara Pablo, Clowns Market, Roshten, you banned me. Yeah, I did ban you, man. I warned you several times to stop the crap with the Gort. I mean, Gort was not even in the chat, and you was still, you know, talking, you know, about Gort every single time. You know, it's like, you know, you know, what are you gonna call it? It's like banter between you and Gort, you know, chat, you know. And I let it go for a long while, but you know, at one point, you know, it's just not funny anymore. And you know, if you wanna, you know, talk with Gort, you know, find another place to do that. You know, it just, you know, it just making, you know, how you go, it just trash in the chat or something like that, right? Good morning, XRP Legend, what's up? Abby, what's up, TLA? S, good morning. Lasem Gul, I don't know what you just said. Rounder, Bitcoin to the moon, Gulu. Bitcoin Pampu, I see Bitcoin at 30K, end of week, week. Thomas, what's up? Good morning, TL again, good morning. Thomas, how you doing? Accession, good morning, what's up? Dr. Carl, good morning, Blue Balls. What a ride, yeah, what a ride. So far, so good. So we're gonna see if we can actually continue this ride, you know, a little bit more towards upside. Morning all, pullback 22.7. How much pullback there is gonna be, I don't know, but you know, there is definitely a line that we do not want to cross on the downside. We're gonna talk about that. Unsustainable rally, too many green candles. It just, you know, it's just 4 green candles, man. It's not unsustainable. Based on silly QE banker narratives. Yeah, Uterus Nike, how you doing, man? Into the sky, 12-hour Bitcoin going sideways, and just when I enter long, 3 minutes after it's dump. But I feel like I'm living in a simulation. Demut first, euphoric, check Twitter. Yeah, we are not even close to euphoria. I mean, everybody was excited about the move, so you know, pullback, stuff like that. People think, yeah, this time it's gonna go down again. So I'm looking at 60K later this year. Too short. I don't think I plan to keep on buying Bitcoin until it's over 45K. I'm a little bit unsure, you know, how far we can actually get up, but we are looking to make this, you know, pivot point up there, and the pivot point is going to be a very good time to, you know, offload and wait for lower levels again, but I don't think that's right now. Morning session, how you doing? What's up? So what are we gonna do first? We're gonna start with the housing market and then do Bitcoin, or we're gonna do Bitcoin first and then do housing market afterwards? We can start with the housing market because it's quite short. You know this stuff. I just read here in this Norwegian newspaper, new brutal move down, free fall, but this is a statistic for new bullies, new houses sales. So new houses that are being built, they had like 30% move down since February last year or something like that. So it is you know, the houses are still being sold and everything is going fine, and even the prices are going a little bit towards upside, but these new houses that are being built, they are not being sold that well, right? They're not being sold that well. And if you read up here, there is this bully percents for any that had this statistic come out for February 2023, and they have some very nice charts down here. You know how many you know what is sold December, January, February, December minus 50%, and this is, you know, year to year, 50%, 57, 31%, a little bit up here, but igangsat, it means how many new houses have they started building, and you'll see that they are building less and less, which is actually quite good, because when they're building less, there is less houses on the market, so it might actually help with you know, the letting the market recover a little bit. But you know, it's still going down, minus 39, 41, 49%. So you know, they're building less and less houses, you know, year by year overall. here sale and development per month accumulated. So sale over here 2020 was down here, sorry, 2022 was all the way down here. It was already below, you know, 2010 levels and stuff like that, right? This goes from 2010 to 2023, and you'll see the 2023 January to February is below everything again. And this is sales per month. This is for new houses, not old houses. Sales accumulated all the way down. There is a lot of other, you know, interesting charts over here that are showing us, you know, what's happening. 12 months rolling sale and start of the building of new houses. This looks like a, you know, this looks like I had a shoulders pattern up here that broke the trend line. Right now is going right down. But everything, you know, it hit some kind of top right now. It's right now rolling over, at least, you know, the way it looks to me. There's a lot of other, you know, charts up here very nicely, but we're not going to go into that. The important thing, you know, to take from this right now, that, you know, the new house sales right now, the new houses that are being built, they're building less. They are starting less building, and they cannot sell, you know, the thing that they have started, you know, they have you know, built. And the last thing I want to show you is up here, and you remember this chart up here. This is how long time it takes to sell a house, not only new house but all the houses. So from the first time the houses come to the market, how long does it take to sell the house? The 2022 down here, the red line up here, you know, this in month of days, 29 days, 29 days, 34 days, 47 days. This is month by month. This green line over here, and you can see it's already above 2022 over here. In January it took 52 days, while in January 2022 it took 41 days, but right now it in February taking 49 days, while in previous year it took 38 days. So it is still below the 2021 level. It's still below 2019 level, and 2019 level is important because that was pre corona market. So once we get above, you know, 2019 levels, you know, something is wrong. But will this keep on going below the will this keep on going below 2021 level over here? That depends to be seen, but right now it's just going, it's kind of stabilized a little bit over here. So the housing market hasn't crashed just yet, but it is looking, you know, quite dim. So if we start going above these other lines over here, if it takes long, once it start taking longer and longer to sell a house, you know, something bad is gonna happen, right? So for February we are still below the 2021 levels, but if we're gonna see in March if we actually get above those levels. If we do that, then, you know, it is definitely going the wrong direction, I think. But, you know, these things take times. They are, you know, monthly time frames and so forth. Okay, so let's check out what's happening with Bitcoin over here right now. Like I said, check out video from yesterday because it is the same video. It is the same video. It's not the same video, but it's a little bit more explained and stuff like that. So what do we have over here, and why do we stop up here at the top? There is a very nice trend line over here going on. You can see here we hit this trend line over here on the dollar almost over here. Very nice, and a lot of people are joining this line up here. So I think pretty much everybody agrees that this trend line over here is the correct one. That said, and I've seen more people do the, you know, draw the pattern, something like this over here, and they are calling it, you know, the expanding musical instrument towards sideways, but they are also pulling these lines up here. So they are saying this over here right now is gonna do something like this over here and then drop towards the downside. So they are thinking that this is a diamond pattern that's being created right now. It could be diamond pattern. I'm not saying it's not a diamond pattern. What I'm saying is that this is not what I'm looking at. I'm not projecting this to be a diamond pattern or anything like that, and I'm not projecting this to be expanding musical instrument. So I'm going to show you what I actually think. But, you know, it's important to note that this is what most people, I don't know if most people, but, you know, at least from what I'm gathered on Twitter, this is what most, you know, the Twitter accounts that I've, you know, been following, this is what they are projecting. They're projecting a diamond pattern up here that's going to do some place over here and drop towards downside. I don't actually see this happening. It could happen. It could happen. I'm not on that bandwagon. What I am looking at is the most important trend line up here, this one. So this to me looks like a expanding musical instrument towards the upside. This looks like a spring towards the upside as well. which looks quite real, if you, I might say so. Let me pull this line up here just for a second up here. Is this line up here legit as well? No, it's not. Maybe something like this. Maybe it's a channel up here. Maybe we are back in the channel up here. This might also be a very important line, so because it looks like a channel, because we know the upper line up here is a very strong resistance line. We came up, hit it on the dollar, so there should be some kind of channel made out of this line over here, either up here somewhere down there, or you know, up here, something like this, give or take. So that could be a channel that we are right now in over here. But we're gonna focus on this very important support line down here, because you can see down here this move towards downside up here did crash through this line. So this line up here was very, very important, and you know that because this, you know, this waterfall move down came after we actually broke that. So even though there was some kind of resistance line over here and over here, you can see these big moves towards downside. Once we broke these lines, sorry, support line, there was some kind of support lines over here, and once we broke that, we had these big moves. This was the biggest move, so I will assume that this is the most important line to not break on the downside. So what I'm looking over here on the chart right now is some kind of expanding musical instrument up here, and we do not want this musical instrument to go towards downside. So I said, and if you watch watch yesterday's video, it's still very, very valid, and everything is said in that video. But I do not want, you know, I would think that, you know, time to start panic is once we go below the line over here. Once we do that, it's pretty much a terrible move, because once you do this spring up here, you go below, we came right back up there again. You do not want to fall out of that support line again, right? If you fall out support line, you manage to come right back inside again. You do not want to fall out. So down here, this move we do not want to happen. So, you know, somewhere right now that's around, you know, 22.5 give or take. We do not want to cross that towards downside. Again, guys, the price always moves towards the upside a lot faster than it moves towards the downside. So even though it takes, you know, whole lot of time to get down, it takes, you know, very little time to recover. So if you see some kind of move down, you know that, you know, the move towards upside is gonna wreck everything. So even though it can actually feel a lot, you know, discouraging going down, and a lot of bears are, you know, calling you names and stuff like that, the moves towards upside always goes a lot faster than towards downside. And the reason they go towards upside is they cannot let people get in, and they cannot let people get in on the dips and stuff like that, and you know, go towards upside. So they want to go up, they want to get everybody, you know, FOMO'd in up here. Once everybody FOMO's in, they pulls back, then starts selling, right? And then the price continues going up towards upside, up again. So I wouldn't be worried as long as we answer this expanding musical instrument. I wouldn't be worried too much about the price. Now over here in this top part up here, we did pull back a lot from yesterday. This was 6.9% move. This is over here. How much did we actually pull back? The biggest pullback up here from the top to the bottom was 9.14%. Right now we are breaking a little bit down here towards downside, but you know, the big move was, you know, 35%. So, you know, talking. And once you have big moves, you will have big pullbacks. It's just the way stuff works. It's just the way stuff works. You can see up here, we had a huge move towards upside up here, and this pullback up here was something like 30% move on the downside. But, you know, it still continued going towards upside, because you have a big move, you pull back big time. I mean, 30% down here would be, you know, catastrophic up here. You know, it wouldn't be catastrophic, but it would be, you know, pretty devastating for a lot of people. 30% move. This 30% move up here did nothing, just came back to the support line and continue going down again. But 30% move on the downside, it breaks a whole lot of support levels, which you don't want to do, you know. So there is difference in when you pull back, right? So if you look over here right now, you know, pulling back, you know, 10% down here, you know, it would pull you down to 17k. You will probably break some other, you know, support lines down here, but pulling back, you know, 10% down up here, you know, it does nothing. It literally does nothing, especially if you look at something like a daily time frame up here. Like 10% move did nothing. We are still above, you know, 50, 20, 10 moving average. We are a little bit extend towards upside, so some kind of consolidation needs to happen before we actually continue going towards upside. Like there is literally no problem with the chart. Literally no problem with the chart, right? It looks very good. It looks very strong, and I wouldn't be worried at least until we get back below, you know, 20.5, because if we cross this line again towards downside up here, that's gonna be a big problem. Now, if you look at a very small time frames up here, it you know, I also explained yesterday's video. Again, watch the yesterday's video. It's very good. If we over here, if we this didn't create any kind of topping pattern. Yes, we explode towards upside, we roll back down, know, we held the support up here. Right now we are breaking a little bit towards downside. Will this pump up here towards upside or not? The trend up here is getting broken as well. Over here you'll see up here there was something like this up here that we broke the trend over here, right? And then right now we can actually draw another line up, sorry, another trend line up here, something like this up here that might be breaking, right? And there is also a trend line over here, so it might actually, you know, pull back a little bit more up here. But as long as it's between the lines, it's no problem. The big question is how big the pullback is. So, you know, these are very small time frames, they don't matter that much, but you know, overall we are still you know, below this below the resistance level and above the support level. So this is over here is trading range right now. They're trying to shake out the longs, or you know, and the price might you know, retest this you know, this level up here, because we just touched this level. We just touched this level up here, you know, once with 1 week, and then we pull back down. I mean, it was a big move. So, you know, right now consolidation needs to happen. Something needs to happen before we actually continue towards upside over here. It might be short-term consolidation, might just do something like this over here and just, you know, explode towards upside and continue. But more likely is it is going to wait for these moving averages a little bit up here and then, you know, continue towards upside up here. So we're going to see how this actually plays out. But there is nothing wrong. There is nothing wrong. And up here, this is a red line because of yesterday, but you know, we're gonna change this to yellow line, sorry, yellow arrow. This move up here is gonna be extremely bullish move if we can break this line. Once this line is broken, there is no coming back, guys. Once this line is broken up here towards upside, there is no coming back, literally no coming back. We already went above 25 too. So once we start going up here and close above this line up here, there is no coming back up down here again. And I think the move is gonna be to the pivot point. So what do I mean to the pivot point? When I say to the pivot point, once this move happens, there is going to be a big move to the pivot point. To the pivot point means that, you know, this chart over here will create some kind of pivot point up here. What I mean by pivot point is these moves. These are pivot points, right? And once chart starts going up here, there will be some kind of pivot point that's going to be created, right? Again, and we're going to use this pivot point with these pivot points and start making these lines, right? And we're going to start looking for where the where the next resistance line is. So right, once we break this towards upside, you know, we're going to go very steeply upside with some kind of trend over here. It depends on how that, it can be very low, it can be very high, it can go all the way up here and go down there, and then be something like this over here. It depends on how this is gonna play out. I literally don't know how high this move up here is going, but some kind of pivot point will be created. And once this trend over here, right now we have a trend over here, and once this trend over here gets broken, this over here is going to stand as a pivot point. Maybe it's going to do something like this up here, the secondary pivot point up here, something like that. But there will be some kind of pivot point up here, and this pivot point will create a new line for us. That's going to tell us that eventually, you know, at one point in late future, once we break that line, we're going to explode, and you know, everything's going to be nice and dandy. Hopefully there becomes no pivot point, because this might actually just, you know, be a parabolic move towards upside, which is the best case scenario, if it, especially right now, if it starts following this trend over here. And the reason I'm saying this trend over here is because right now, if you look on the chart, we have a very nice trend line. So this pivot point on downside up here create this right now trend line down here. So right now we are climbing something like this over here towards the upside. It's not actually a very fast climb, it's a slow climb. So this would be best case scenario, some kind of channel, then breaking this channel towards the upside, increasing the speed, and then just going parabolic from over here. Maybe this is the very start of the parabolic move. We don't know, guys, we don't know, but we need to follow and see how that's gonna be, how that's gonna play out. That said, again, the trend line up here, the trend line, you can see up here, this looks like already like a channel up here. This actually looks like a very nice channel, almost exact channel. Wow, this is a perfect channel. Lol. Yeah, very nice, very nice. This is a channel, so you can see up here, we might, you know, maybe it's gonna do this thing over here. I hope we don't do this move up here. This will be, you know, this would be very bad. This would be very bad if it starts channeling like this up here. But this line, once this channel up here, and you know, is broken towards the upside up here, it's gonna be, you know, stupidly big move towards the upside. So we are waiting for that, guys. I don't see anything wrong with charts. I gotta go and work out. It's only my, you know, second week of, you know, gym. The first week was like 2 weeks ago. Last week we didn't go to the gym because, you know, kids were sick and were at home. So, you know, we only go to the gym when there is no you know, when kids are not home. But I can tell you right now, you know, being 40 years old, going to the gym, you know, it's not the most fun part of my day. It's not the most fun part of my day. We're all future millionaires. I know you're not a fan of Elliott waves, but is it if the fourth wave comes below the end of the first Elliott wave is invalid. What kind of time frame am I looking at? Isn't a rising wedge bearish? That is correct, but what you have to understand that rising wedges are bearish, rising channels are bearish, rising triangle, ascending triangles are bearish. Anything that goes towards upside is by definition bearish. That's why once you break something that goes towards upside again, you increase the speed towards upside. That's why it's strongly bullish. Do you know what happened down here and how we knew that this move up here might actually be very very bullish? And if you look at the videos, you'll see that we saw that there was a trend line over here, right? There was a trend line over here, right? Something like this over here, and this trend line got broken, right? Let me just a little bit up here, something like this, give or take. And this trend line got broken, right? We had some kind of rising wedge up here, and I know the moon was talking about this rising wedge, and everybody was looking for the downside. Even I was very bearish over here, but I still stuck around because I knew that this thing might actually break towards the upside, and if it does that, this is a very bullish move. So you can see up here, this was a very bullish move. And if you look at a little bit higher up here, if you move some kind of lines up here towards downside up here, this might even look like a channel, right? So this is some kind of rising channel up here that tap up here and tapped up here and then broke towards upside. But what's happened once you break to something that it's rising towards upside, you explode, right? So that's why I'm saying that in bigger time frames up here, this rising channel up here, once it breaks towards upside, it explodes, right? So that's what we're looking for. At 49, everything hurts. Yeah, exactly. So I'm definitely feeling a bit off to use body weight. I messed up my body at the gym. No, I did work out before, guys, like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I did work out, so I know how to build strength in muscle stuff like that. I just stopped working for 10 years, haven't done anything in the gym, so I'm starting off very slowly. I always look at these new guys that go to the gym and get their personal trainers, and the personal trainers like push on the first day, and then my sister took a personal trainer, and she puked on the first day in the gym because he was pushing her so hard. There's no such thing. You go to the gym, you start very slow. Like 2 weeks ago, I took the least weight I could take. I mean, I was lifting like 100 times, just to, feel something. But, you need to build up, muscles in the start, and it takes a while. Like I wrote on the Twitter, time in the gym beats, timing the gym, timing the market beats timing the market. So time in the gym beats timing the gym. So it is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So always take slowly, build muscles. And I did get hurt before when I was working out. I did wreck my shoulders. I did I think it was my leg or a back. And that sets you down 3 to 6 months down the line. You cannot work out. You have to take it very slowly. So you never want to get injured when you're going to the gym. You always take it very slowly. Build slowly towards upside. Never take, like, if you are not professional bodybuilders or you want to increase, there is no reason to do these power sets with six times only 6 times maximum weight and stuff like that, because that's just too much weight. And if you're not built for that, if you haven't worked out like at least 2 to 5 years prior to that and build all the muscles in your group, there will be weak muscles in your body that are not going to be able to pull that weight, and they will fail and something will happen with your body. So you need a lot of time to actually come to that level where you can actually pull push, pump big weights. But in the start, it's very important to just start slowly and not destroy the muscles, because 2 weeks is nothing, guys. 2 weeks is nothing. Like, this needs to take like 6 months to a year just get somewhere. The injury come after years. Nah, I don't. It's pretty, you notice injury pretty fast. Your body has muscle memory but can't overload. Because you always want to be the strongest and technique suffers. Yeah, there's that. More protein amino to recover. Yeah, eating and sleeping is alpha and omega when it comes to working out. If you are in the gym and doing whatever, I've been to the gym and I've seen this guy. He's really good muscles, but he's been in the gym for years and years, and he said he never does, you know, heavy weights. He does small weights, yeah, but he's always in the gym, and he always eats well and sleeps well. So sleep well, eat well, get to the gym, do the, you know, and you'll build muscle. Like this guy was like built like. He wasn't like huge, he wasn't a bodybuilder, but he was really muscular, and he was a small weights, and everybody's looking at what the F you doing, man? But you know, he doesn't care. He's there, you know, day in, day out, you know, picking it up, strengthening, you know, sleeping well, eating. He slowly, you know, you grow. Fun stretching, very beneficial now at 46. The only thing I find, beneficial now at 40 is I don't know, sleeping. I just do 100 push-ups and 100 squats. It's good enough. Depends. Okay, guys, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for stopping by. I'll go and do some gym stuff. I think I'm already late. Wife is waiting for me. So you know, do watch the video, guys. Again, there is a video. Where is the video? Do watch this video. Should we panic? It's like 25 minutes video. It's actually a really good video, and I explain a lot more than I did right now, and you might figure out, you know, what I think about Bitcoin. There's that. I do 100 sit-ups per day. Wow, 100 sit-ups, man. Muscle of steels. I'm gonna see you around, guys. Thanks. Bye bye. No problem with the price. No problem. Like bullish. No problem. Whatever. Pull back. I'll see you around. Bye bye.